Bonjour, mes amis. Hi, I'm Sarah Gauthier-Roy, and I'm here today to read you the story Clovis, Crawfish, and the Big Betail by Mary Alice Fontenot. Have you heard of Clovis Crawfish? He's one of my favorite critters. He lives in a bayou, just like the one right here behind me. Mary Alice Fontenot writes wonderful stories about Clovis Crawfish and all of his bayou friends. So today, join me as we read Clovis Crawfish and the Big Betail by Mary Alice Fontenot, illustrated by Scott R. Blazik. Clovis Crawfish and the Big Betail is dedicated to Robert Ziegler and Marge Fisher, parrain and marin of Andrew Armadillo. Clovis Crawfish crawled out of the round hole in the middle of his mud house. It was early in the morning, but he couldn't see the sun coming up because there was a fog. The fog was like a curtain that was all around Clovis and his mud house on the bank of the bayou in South Louisiana. The sky was silver gray, and the trees were silver gray, and the silver curtain of fog made everything look different. As Clovis crawled down into the bayou bank, he saw Renee Rainfrog clinging to a leaf on a palmetto plant. Renee looked like he was just waking up. The sun was beginning to shine a little through the fog. A sunbeam sparkled on the droplets of fog on Renee's green suit. Clovis reached the edge of the bayou. He didn't even see the old log where Theodore Turtle took his sun bath every day. And Fernand Frog could not be found. Clovis turned around and started back up the bayou bank. Then he saw his house. Only it didn't look like his house anymore. One side was all broken up, and the round hole in the middle was all mashed in. Who broke my mud house? Who broke my beautiful new mud house? Cried Clovis. Renee Rainfrog leaped off the palmetto leaf. I saw him! I saw him! Cried Renee. It was a big betail, which is the way to say a big animal in Cajun French. Clovis heard a rustling noise in the palmettos. He looked around and saw a most curious creature. It had 4 legs, and each of its legs were bigger than Clovis. It had a long tail and a long pointed nose, and in the middle of it was all covered up with a round hard shell. "Mais jamais," said Clovis. That's the way Cajuns say, "For goodness sake." Clovis Crawfish decided maybe he'd better not get too mad. This strange big betail thing could bite hard, maybe. But Clovis didn't move. He raised up his big claws as that creature came closer, and he wriggled his wrist as fast. That big betail rocked right over Clovis without even seeing him. He almost stepped on Clovis. "Hey, betail," said Clovis as loudly as he could. That large creature stopped, and he looked down at Clovis. "Howdy, stranger," it said in a big, booming voice. "You sure look unfriendly with your paws up in the air like that. And my name is not Betail. My name is Andrew Armadillo, and I'm from Texas." Clovis couldn't say a word. He just stared and stared. Then he looked at his mud house all broken up. You broke my house, you, he said to Andrew Armadillo. Fais pas de bêtises. Music by Jean and Robert Gilmore. Sung by Megan Brown and played by Clovis Crawfish and the All-Star Bayou Band.
Fais pas de bêtises, gros bétail, va te cacher, t'es bien trop canaille, gros bétail, ça m'a choqué, m'a choqué. Fais pas de bêtises, gros bétail, va te cacher, t'es bien trop canaille, gros bétail, ça m'a choqué, m'a choqué. Fais pas de bêtises. Pas de bêtises.
You mean that stack of mud is your house? Said Andrew. Now you know I'm right sorry I stepped on it. I'll just have to help you build another one. I'm the fastest digger in the world, and I can dig you another hole before you can say blue bonnet. Clovis Crawfish stopped wriggling his whiskers, and he folded his big claws, and the sun was shining again, warm and bright, and the fog was all gone. Over in that palmetto leaf, Renee Rainfrog started singing J'ai chaud, j'ai chaud, j'ai chaud. Andrew Armadillo turned his big head and listened. What in the name of a longhorn steer is that little thing hollering about? He asked. He keeps on saying J show, over and over again. Oh, that's Renee, said Clovis. He's a rain frog, and he is my friend. He is singing his rain song because he wants it to rain so he can get cool. J show is the way we say I'm hot in South Louisiana. You folks over here sure talk funny, said Andrew. Renee Rainfrog hopped nearer to Clovis, and Maurice Mosquito Hawk lit on the thistle. Clovis Cricket crawled out from under the root of the big oak tree. Denis Dardaba buzzed in, and Betail Butterfly lit on the honeysuckle vine. They stared at Andrew Armadillo. No one said bonjour to Andrew, which is the way you say hello in French. Clovis looked up at Andrew. We think you talk funny too, he said. We weren't going to say so because we like to be nice to strangers. Andrew put his long pointed nose almost on the ground. Now there, I went and did it again, he said. I sure didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I just wouldn't do that for all the dollars in Dallas. Suddenly, Andrew stood up on his back legs and held himself straight up with his long, hard tail so that he could look all around the swamp. He looked very big and frightening. J'ai peur, said Betail Butterfly, which means I'm scared in French. J'ai peur, said Christophe Cricket. He made one big jump off that oak tree root and crawled back under. Moi aussi, said Maurice Mosquito Hawk, which means me too. And he zoomed up over the oak tree. Denis Dardaba backed away. Clovis stayed right where he was. He wasn't afraid of Andrew Armadillo anymore. Viens ici, Clovis called to his friends. Come back. He won't hurt us. He wants to be our friend. Christophe Cricket crept out from under the big tree root. Maurice Mosquito Hawk flew back and sat on the thistle. Clovis's other friends gathered around, all except Betail Butterfly. Where's Betail? Clovis asked. Clovis and his friends looked around and no one could find Betail. Then Clovis spied something yellow in the thorn bush across the bayou. Look! Cried Clovis. Poor little Betail, she's caught in a thorn! Clovis wriggled his whiskers and he raised up his big sharp claws. He could swim across the bayou, but he couldn't climb up the bush to help Betail. Clovis looked up at Andrew, standing on his 4 feet now, his pointed nose down, feeling bad because he had scared the little bayou creatures. Andrew, said Clovis, can't you help our little friend Betail Butterfly? Andrew grunted and turned around and he dove into that bayou, swimming as fast as his legs could go. He swam right across the bayou and went to that thorn bush where Betail's ring was stuck on a thorn. Andrew Armadillo got up on his back legs. He steadied himself with his long, strong tail, and he reached up and gently lifted Betail off the thorn. Betail fluttered her wings, slowly at first, then faster. Then off she flew. Merci! Merci, Big Betail, said Betail, which means thank you in French. Andrew Armadillo swam back across the bayou. Now, partner, he said to Clovis, where do you want that new mud house? I'll help you dig the hole. Then I'll dig myself one right beside it, 'cause I'm the best digger on the bayou. The end. Thank you so much for listening to my story today. Be sure you go to cloviscrawfish.com to see more stories read about Clovis Crawfish and his friends. There you can also purchase your own copy or find ways to get versions of the music you heard today by Clovis Crawfish and the All-Star Bayou Band from the album Bienvenue. Thanks so much. Au revoir!